Welcome back to Mom Tackles the Internet. We are actually going to go over themes. So far, we've talked about sort of what the internet's all about and browsers and WordPress a little bit and creating hosting and domain names and all that fun stuff. So check out previous episodes if you want on our channel about that. Mom's mission the past couple of weeks, actually, as of this recording, was to go through and to find a theme for her WordPress site. So Mom, did you do that?
I did, but
right. Tell us about your adventure.
My adventure. Well, what I have learned and in trying to understand all of this was that there's not only one area where you can buy a theme or get a theme free. There are numerous vendors out there. That's the only way I can call them.
Thousands is the correct term. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that was eye-opening to me, because then I started to look at the different ones. And then I found that I got myself thoroughly confused, because there were so many different ones, and whether or not you find one that just does a click and drag and click, or a just push a button on a block and it makes the lettering easier. It just depended, I guess, on what you're looking for, as far as how easy you want it to be or how not easy you want it to be. Really, when it came down to it.
It depends on your coding skills. Exactly right. Yep.
Oh, great. So I have none.
Right. So you buy a theme that doesn't require any.
Yes, but that's where I found that, I guess, by saying, like you are, the coding skills, that I guess that means that when I'm getting on there and you know, some of the themes would tell you different things that they would do for you, but it was like 3 little things that told me nothing.
Did you check them out and do kind of, because the mission was go through and make sure you do live previews and you check out the themes and you use their demos? And
well, I checked out the themes. I didn't see a whole lot of demos, really, other than the fact that I saw what they were, you know, how they would work. Like, I did press on where it said, like, if you want 2 column or if you want 3 column, or and what it did and how it did it.
Okay, well, that's a demo, because you're literally using the theme and you're seeing what the theme looks like. That's what a demo is, demonstration of the theme.
Yeah. But I did find that I ran into some things that I really had some questions on.
Okay.
And one of the questions was, when you're doing a web page and on the top header, I guess it is,
exactly right.
it'll say home, it'll say maybe blog, then it'll say shop or whatever. Now, I wouldn't need all of that, not initially. Maybe down the line, I hope. But right now, I wouldn't need all that. Mine would simply be, you know, blog, recipes, home.
Sure.
Simple.
Yep.
So I wouldn't have to do all of that, correct?
Correct.
Even though they're listed as a whole bunch of them up there on their demo.
Because remember, it's a demonstration of what's possible, not what you have to do, right?
Okay. Well, that's what I wasn't quite sure of. So that was one of the things. The other things I found interesting is that updates. It talked about having many updates, if you're going to have many updates. So one of the things on theme forest, I think it was called. Okay. On there, it would say like updated and the date. But the date, they were kind of strange the way they were dated. Some of them would like say 17 June 19. Another one would say 2 December 21. So I'm like,
well, probably didn't say 2 December 21, because that's this year and it hasn't happened yet. But that's just the last time it was updated.
Okay, so does that mean when it says 19 what? That was that 2019, yes. I guess?
2019.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I have to look at it that they're all in the 20s.
Yes, because the internet didn't exist.
Right. I just connected to that.
I'm so glad we have that on video. That is It's
Hey, that
fantastic.
tells you how my generation has no clue about all this stuff.
Yes, because otherwise the alternative would have been 1919 and the internet did not exist in 1919.
And that didn't
But you
occur to
know,
me when I was looking.
there you go. Yes, that's
So this is good.
fantastic.
We
All
can
right.
have a good laugh.
Sometimes we don't get these moments recorded, but this one for sure is on tape. Not actual tape, because that also is not what we're using.
No, there's been a lot of times where I've asked you these questions and you just looked at me like that.
They're always off. They're always off camera too, and I'm like, man, I would have been. Why you ask me that when everyone's watching? But that's great. Yes. And you know, again, we were making fun of it, but it's a legitimate question because I understand, right? Just like you said, that wasn't initially how you thought. So, but now you never ever will not think that. You'll always
no.
Yeah, 2019.
No. So that leads me to believe that when it has the updates, it leads me to believe that whoever it was that I guess coded this, is that how it's correctly done? Okay.
Yeah, it would be like the developer of the theme. Sometimes a person, sometimes a company. Exactly right.
Okay. So whoever the developer is, that would have been the date that they last updated it.
Correct.
Which means that if it was last updated, like 2017 or whatever, well, then it hasn't been touched since then. And with technology changing as much as it is, I would think I would be more interested in something that had been updated recently.
That is correct. It's a very astute observation because in the internet world, right, the software is always changing. There's always different, you hear about hacks happening all the time with people hacking databases and stuff like that. It's just a normal thing. It's not, I mean, it's horrible it happens, but it's just the normal way of the internet nowadays. So it's always this cat and mouse game. And so you need to make sure that your WordPress site is secure. You need to make sure that your theme is secure. Not to mention themes have updates, right? Sometimes they find a better way to do something or a different look or a different feature. And so they can give you updates that way. So when you're looking for a theme, you want something that is updated multiple times a year, generally speaking. Coming through because it just needs to be that way. And if it's not being updated, what they would call supported, right? You might hear it referred to as that, oh, we don't support the updates anymore. If they're just not supporting it with updates, they've kind of given up on it. And it's a matter of time, like not a matter of if, but when you just can no longer use that theme because it won't be secure anymore. So that's why as a business, if you're creating this or for your personal website, you just don't want to put your money into something that isn't being consistently updated and supported by somebody who is going to be around for a while.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm glad that I noted the dates because I did. I kept questioning that, wondering, wonder why that is, but didn't know. The other thing I found on some of these, like I went on to a couple of the ads, and maybe we could show that.
Sure, let's go ahead and share screens.
Okay. So, oops, let's get this one off of here.
Yeah, you just close that tab out.
All right. Now there's a theme forest. Now let's see if I can find the one that I was looking at.
Theme forest is an entirely reputable, place for theme. It's like a marketplace.
Right. And that was the one that I spent most of my time on.
It's one of the major ones. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. But now there was one. Let me go back and delete this and see if I can pull it back up again. It's not coming up.
Now, just a side note, some people don't realize this, but do you know why some of your links that you're showing in your search results there are purple and some of them are blue?
Yes, the ones that are purple are the ones that I've been on.
Exactly.
And the ones that are blue, I have not checked out yet.
Look at you go. Good job.
I'm getting it, slow but sure. All right, so let me see if I can get this up. Try this one. Here we go. So here's an ad, and it's for Elementor. Now, from what I was understanding, Elementor was a plugin. Is that correct?
It is, yes, but it's a little blurry when you start doing that. But yes, it's a plugin that can build pages, so it acts as a theme. Yep.
Okay, so maybe we need to explain better what is a plugin.
I would say not yet.
Okay.
Because you're going to go too far down the rabbit hole and stay focused.
One
reason I would not do Elementor or themes like it for you right now.
Okay.
is
All
that
right.
this will allow you to build any site you ever want.
Okay.
Right?
So this is
So
more of a custom type thing.
this is a completely, we use Elementor for our business. So when I
Okay.
go to my developer and I say, I want the site to look like this, right? I've worked with my design team. My design team then creates a mock-up of what it looks like, and he can use Elementor to build it. Elementor is amazing because it's very, very good. It's a great theme. But for you, you don't want a blank slate, right? You want something that's like, hey, we've already made this for you. It's not going to be as flexible, something like Elementor is, but you don't want something as flexible as Elementor is. Not right now. You're just learning.
Okay.
So you want the bumper rails, right? You want somebody to say, here's a theme, fill in this stuff. You'll be able to adjust some stuff, but not all stuff. And that's okay, because you need to learn the basics of a theme. And so stick with themes right now. We'll talk about plugins when the time's ready for that stuff. That's how you sort of customize and enhance WordPress. And chances are some of the themes will have plugins that come with them anyway. So we'll talk more.
Yes, I did notice that on WordPress when I was playing with that quite a while ago, that they had some that came with it. And I, of course, didn't understand what that was.
Yeah, it's kind of like the way to think about it is a theme is the design part of it. It sort of lays it out and gives it the look. And then the plugins give it functionality. So if you some WordPress sites have a little carousel where the photos kind of spin through. Others have a very easy, nice little recipe format, for example. That might be a plugin that they're using to do that. So there's different things that are, you can expand a WordPress site based upon the plugins, right? You might have a recipe style plugin that helps you because you do recipe stuff, but I would never need that, right? So I wouldn't install that plugin, but maybe you would.
Okay. That makes sense. I understand that part. Okay. So that kind of answers my questions on a lot of things and helping me to understand the differences between the ones that the advertisers that I went on to look at and then in using ThemeForest.
Okay.
Now,
so did we decide on a theme?
Well, actually, I was hoping you could help me with this.
Okay.
Let me get on to ThemeForest, and I hope this is the right one I wanted. Okay. And when I got on here, they had a ton of them. And that's not coming up the way I wanted it to come up.
You can just search in ThemeForest for whatever you want on the actual site.
Okay. There we go. Well, this has a little bit more than what I looked at. I think I only looked at like 27 of them by the time I got.
Click now on the left-hand side, because what you did is you found everything for a team.
Yes, I did.
But you're looking at site templates and e-commerce templates and UI templates and CMS themes. And I know that because of the lower left-hand corner, you can see where it says categories.
No.
Right there now is in the middle to the left, right where you're.
To the left, okay.
Is. You see where it says WordPress.
Oh, yeah, yes.
So
I'm sorry,
click on
yes.
that.
All categories?
Nope, because all categories what you're currently looking at.
So I'm going to look at WordPress.
Correct, because that's what you want.
Okay.
Now you're down to 29.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was. I thought it was 27, but 29 is probably right. Okay, so I went on these different ones and I looked at several of them. Now, I did come up with, you're going to shoot me. I came up with 5.
Sure, that's fine.
That I liked.
So let's take a look.
Okay, so the first one.
Now, what you're going to do is you're going to hold down your control button and you're going to click on where it says preview for each of the ones. And it's going to open up as a new tab in your browser. And you're going to do that for all 5. And then we're going to flip between them.
What am I going to do?
Pick one of these that you're going to open up.
All right, right here.
Hover over preview.
Okay.
Hold down control.
Control.
And then now left click when you're holding down control.
So when I'm clicking it,
hold down control while you're holding down the control button, click, do the left click. That's a right click. Try your other right. Which is
okay. All right. So I'm holding down. Yeah. I'm just not getting it.
It's just hold down control and click. It's really, I can't make it simpler than that. So you're holding down the control key. Is that correct on your keyboard?
Oh, no. Okay.
There you go. Control key. Okay. Mental note. I am, this is good though. Cause I am, this is just what I'm speaking is like standard, very standard internet language. Right. So it's good. But the control, whenever I say the word like key, it's keyboard. So
Okay.
key on your
So
keyboard, right?
keyboard,
So
control.
hold down the control key on your keyboard. While you're
I
holding
did.
down the control key, click. See what just happened on your browser. There's a tab that is now open. It's loading in the background called Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is how you stay where you are, but then open up a new tab. So what you're going to do now is do the other 4. So
Wow.
that
Did
was one
not
of
know
them. And now you're going to go find the other ones, the other 4. And that way you have all those tabs open. You can flip through them without having to go back
that.
and forth a
Okay.
million times. It's a lot faster.
Well,
It's a
that
technique to
is
speed
so
up things on the internet.
cool. All right. So here we go. Control. Wow, look at that. That is so neat. I get so excited over all this stuff. Let's see. And one more. Nope, maybe not. I thought there was another one. Maybe I went past it. Yeah, because I went back
Do
over
you know the
this.
name
Here
of
it
it?
is. Yep.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. So now you got
Here
it
we
all
go.
loading up. So let's go through your themes one tab at a time. These are the
Okay.
previews. So we're looking at the actual theme and what it looks like. That's what we'll be doing.
All right.
So let's click on the buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
See, this is the part that I was concerned with. All these.
yeah, you don't have, just because you have them doesn't mean you have to have them.
Okay.
Because they have them. It's just showing you what's possible.
Okay. So this was the home page,
Mm-hmm.
which I liked the way that was laid out. The only thing is, I don't know that I would want this many little blocks here,
Mm-hmm.
but on the blog, because I would only use the home page and the blog.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I? Usually when I push on blog, something else comes up. This one's very simple. So this
Mm-hmm.
one's like super simple. This is just, you don't really have a choice, I assume.
Right.
And so it would look like this. Okay, well, that helps me a lot because now that, to me, honestly, this would eliminate this one.
Okay, so let's close
because
that
that's
out.
not what's in my head.
Okay, so that's closed out. And now we're looking at Pinino.
Uh-huh. This one, again, see, it has these blocks. I like that.
Well, these are all demos. So you want to go and look at one that these are all demos. It's a directory of demonstration sites. So this is not the actual site. Right. So go to view the demos. So scroll down and pick one of those.
Pick one of what?
You're not looking at the theme yet. You're looking at a bunch of different things the theme can do. But you need to click on those.
I didn't know that.
Click on theme on like Tea House or something was there. Not about
theme.
Go right there, Tea House. Click on that. In the middle. Go down. Hang on.
Did I miss it?
Yeah, stop.
Okay.
Right there you go. Perfect.
All right. Well, then I didn't look at this right.
So
then.
this is Tea House. So now this is what the theme looks like if you were building a site for it.
Okay. All right. And again, it would not be.
You don't like it?
I don't.
Okay, close it.
That's not what I was looking for.
Close both of those in that case.
All right. So here we go. Ooh, I hope I find one then. Oh, what did I close then?
You closed the first one. You got to close this one because it opened it up as a new tab. The first one was the directory of all of those. And then you clicked on Tea House, which opened this one. So you can close this one too.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. There's this one. And again, some of this I would not use.
Mm-hmm.
So there's, let's go on to, where did I see it? I thought I saw coffee. No, here it is, home coffee. It's close to. Okay. So I'm not sure why what's that's doing. Oh, it's slow. Yeah, see, I wouldn't want the menu on there.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you a question. If you
Yeah.
don't want menus, why are you choosing restaurant themes? Because you're not planning to open up a
Because
restaurant.
it came up as tea when we were looking under tea. I thought I
get
could
that.
adjust that.
Well, yeah, but why would you buy a theme that's made for a restaurant?
Well, I'm not trying to buy it made for a restaurant.
But you're
I'm
only looking
trying to
at
find,
restaurant themes.
because that's what came up on the thing when I looked under tea.
What are you trying to do with your WordPress site?
Okay. What I wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
be tea parties. It would be, of course, with COVID, I don't know how well something like that would be if I wanted to do tea parties in people's homes or whatever, but tea parties. Okay. But I could put up on there different themes. I could put up on there recipes that I've experimented with.
Okay, so recipes is the thing you're going to put up there.
Okay,
right?
so now we got to go all the way back and do the
So
recipes.
why don't we close out these tabs? Because I think you kind of went down, like somehow you ended up with just, restaurant themes for the most part. So I don't know
All
that
right.
that makes
So,
sense, right? So type in recipe if that's what you want to do. So find themes that are made to display recipes in cooking, right? Like any of that stuff.
okay, so now I've got way more. Okay, so now I
Well,
can
now
look over
remember,
here and see.
yeah, because there's a lot of stuff, right? There's a lot of WordPress. You're already looking at WordPress. There's 168 of them.
I
So,
know, that's an awful lot.
yeah, that's fine. But they after a certain
Education,
point.
that would be more along the lines. It's still going to be a combination between retail and education, I would think.
Okay, so click on retail if you want to go a little further. Okay, so now you got 54 different themes you can look at. Let's just preview some of these.
Okay.
Some of them that were most recently updated have got good reviews. That's all for now.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to look at.
Mm-hmm. And anything you're interested in, we'll do that little trick to control click.
All right. See, this is what I was talking about right here.
Yeah, I wouldn't even touch that one. The template.
Yeah.
It's too old and no reviews. No one's supporting that one.
Hmm. All right, so what do you think? How many should I?
Let's do one more.
All right.
All right, now let's go look at the tabs. Okay, so you're going to scroll through this and see if you like it. Now, notice if you scroll up to the top, just not quite to the top, but to the right there. You see how they have a little filter. So you can filter for courses and cuisines and skill levels and collections and recipe tags. So they have all of that on there. You can type in a keyword. There's a little search feature. So this is a feature because it's made for recipes and people that are coming to a recipe site. So just kind of gives you an example of the feature that this will allow you to do.
Okay, so but I don't have to have 5 of them. I can just have 3.
You can have whatever you want.
Okay. Okay. Widgets. Explain to me exactly
Let's
a
not
widget.
focus on widgets yet. Let's go.
Well, the only reason I'm saying that is because it says this widget here.
So the widget just tells you like it's a thing it can do. Like, oh, this is a recipe widget. So it's kind of like a plugin. It's the best way to think about it. So widgets are just like little features. But for now, I wouldn't worry about that stuff. Just keep it very, very high level right now. And say like, this widget allows me to do this. Like, I don't know what widget is, but I don't care because I don't like the look of it. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't like the look of it, then who cares what a widget is right now? Just we want to find the things that you like.
Okay.
For the look.
Now this I liked. This one I like. This one's not bad.
But you haven't actually looked at the blog itself yet. You're just looking at.
Yeah, I did just now.
Nope.
That's what this is. The
directory
blog
of blog posts. That is not what a blog post looks like. It's just a bunch of different.
Oh, so I have to get on one to see?
Correct. Yeah, and there's like on categories. There's a video. This is a video one.
Okay.
Video looks like.
Okay.
And if you're going to be posting recipes, what do they look like? Like there's recipes, right? So click on some of those so you can see what a recipe looks like, because that's what you're interested in posting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you like the format of what these recipes are?
It hasn't told me what the recipe is.
Yep. So I would keep moving through to find something that looks like a recipe layout.
Yeah, so this one's not working then.
Well, keep going through some of them. Like click on all recipes or something at the top nav. And let's see if you can get a format of what a recipe might look like. So that's what you're looking for, is like, okay, what's a good recipe? And, you know, does it show anything? And if this theme doesn't do that, doesn't look like it does, then I would skip it. I close it out, because it doesn't do recipe stuff really. Kind of does, but not really. I mean, they're not doing a great job of showing you, here's how we do recipe stuff.
Oh, that's cute.
So I would look at recipes here.
Okay, it's not on there. How am I getting to see the recipe? Okay.
So now you're on the recipes page. Let's see if they have any recipes on here. So now you got prep time, cook time, yield. So see this stuff? This is the format.
Yeah, that's what I want.
And this would be where you can go into the theme and there'll be a specific place to type this stuff in.
Okay.
So you don't have to know how to put the images there and all that stuff. It's just going to ask you, what's the prep time? You're going to say, oh, 7 minutes for this recipe. What's cook time? Oh, 1 minute for this recipe. What's the yield time? Oh, or yield. It gives you whatever. And you just type this stuff in. It'll automatically make it look good like that.
So let me ask you this. Where it's written in red, that's what I would change, but the rest stays?
Yes.
Oh.
So it'll be like, insert a new recipe, and it'll say, great, what's the prep time, cook time, yield, and servings? You type that stuff in. What's step 1? What's step 2? What's step 3? And that's how that whole thing works.
Okay. So anything that's in red would be where I would change things. Like I could change the picture. Now, this stuff, of course, this would be a while before I'd get to that point. Unless I come up with some recipes to just throw in there for now.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Pinterest, where you can have a Pinterest channel and encourage people to share on Pinterest.
That would be good. Okay.
So this might be a little bit closer to what you're trying to do with your site.
It is. Now,
versus
the
opening
features.
up a restaurant.
No, not, yeah, I don't want to open a restaurant.
Well, let's keep going to the other theme.
All right.
And let's take a look at that last theme and see recipes. And do you like the look of those recipes? What I would do is not get caught up in the homepage stuff quite yet, but go into what are the individual features? Do I even like the layout, right? Because right away, it's like, if it doesn't do recipes well, it doesn't matter what the recipe looks like. So this is what it generally looks like, right? You can see all the pictures.
Oh, that's nice.
And now when you click into these, what does it look like? This also shows you, the time and the number of ingredients, at least at this level.
Yeah, but I'm not getting to the recipe. There it goes. Oh. Okay. This is simple. I consider this to be simple.
Simple as in that's what you want?
I want it to look simple. I don't want it super complicated.
So between this recipe layout and the other recipe layout.
I like this one. Now the thing
Which one's more useful?
This is one about me. Programs. I wouldn't call it programs.
So before we get, because again, you're trying to customize this thing, but before you even try to worry about that, do you like it or not? Do you want this recipe format, or do you want the other recipe format? What should be better for a reader? Which is more useful for a reader? If you were the person using these two different sites and you had two different recipes that they were doing, which is easier for you?
I like this one because it was more simplistic to get into.
Okay, so
do you see what I'm saying? Like, let's go back to this one. And here we go to the recipes. And this one just says to put the ingredient and all that stuff. I wouldn't do all that. But to get onto a recipe, I just want to get onto a recipe. And this one didn't say anything about a comment on it, which I do like the idea of having a comment.
It does. It's right there. It's right in front of you.
Where? Did I miss it?
It's right there. It says 0 comments right now.
Oh, okay.
Comment is something you can do on every WordPress site. That's the normal standard feature of WordPress.
Okay.
So which is better for a user coming in wanting to use a recipe?
Let me look at this one again. Oh, let me go back home. The home page first.
So what I'm trying to get you to do here, because is if you're on the recipe page and you're trying to actually use the site for a recipe, which one looks more like a recipe that would be better for the user?
You know, it's interesting because as I'm looking at this, this tells you what's there, tells you the ingredients. It doesn't tell you how to do it.
Okay, now look at the other one.
I'm thinking that this one would probably be the better one.
Why?
Because it has the instructions, has the ingredients.
Show all that stuff because we're not seeing that yet. Right. There you go. Right.
Okay.
This is a little better format. This looks like an actual recipe.
Right.
Here's instructions. Here's step 1. Here's step 2. You can put photos and stuff in there. You got the ingredients. You got a rating. You can comment. Right. Substantially better. Heads and tails better than the other one. So the other one was simple, but that's because it wasn't really a recipe thing. Right. This one is structured to be for recipe stuff.
And all of this up here I can change.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now if you go to features, and then you can see, you know, the About Us page and the other stuff that's there. You can go to the blog and you can look what the blog directory looks like. This is what the About Us page looks like.
And my About Us page would be like nothing right now.
Sure. That's how everybody starts. Look at your blog.
Okay.
So first things first is like well, that's a page, but you want to go to blog. Look at blog. You know, when you are looking for a theme, what's the primary thing that you're going to be doing as a website?
Oh, this will work.
If yours is going to be recipes, then that's what you want to do is recipes, right? So like click in any of those now, because now you're just looking at a blog directory. Then you click into it. This is what the actual blog post looks like.
Okay.
Right. And this is what a format of a typical blog post would look like. And what you're looking at here is it'll be a big image, right? A big image goes there. So it's clearly made for detailed image.
Right.
And then underneath it is the stuff, right? So that's how this works. And there's a whole separate section for recipes. So you could say like, hey, you could do a recipe review on your blog post and then link to the recipe on your site.
Right.
Right. So the blog post would be like a recipe review. Like, here's what I liked. Here's what I didn't like. Here's what I would change, you know, and then the actual recipe, you can check out the recipe here and you could link over to your actual recipe in the recipe section.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
So this looks like a winner.
Well, it's one of, you know, hundreds of themes. So go into, let's look back into your WordPress site, into your WordPress theme forest thing, and close out that Rosalinda thing. I don't think that's going to be a theme for you because the recipe thing isn't great. So close that out.
Trying to close it, but I got a thing on the top here.
Yeah, I don't know. Zoom thing doesn't show for us. We don't see that, but I get.
Yeah.
See it.
But yeah, that's what it is.
Just go back into recipes in the theme forest, and let's pick a few other ones, because you might find some other ones that do both that are better.
Okay. But not Rosalina. We're looking at the Cake WordPress. Okay.
So what are some other ones that you might? So something that last updated, I would say in the last 3 months.
But then we also want to look at the date.
That's the last updated, exactly. Yeah. And now here, I don't see a lot of, well, there's a little bit of recipes, like that succulent one has recipes. I don't know if this one has recipes. I don't see the word recipes anywhere, so I wouldn't even look at it, right? If it doesn't have
Okay.
recipes, what's the point?
Okay, gotcha.
Because that's what you're looking for. It's like a key element of your thing is recipes, right?
Yes. Oh, here we go. I see what you're saying. I don't need all the other stuff.
Right. Now, catering might be interesting because that's kind of what you were thinking about. Is eventually you want to do like these
Yes,
parties. So
that
would you
would be
control click on
interesting.
that one? Because that has a recipe thing in it.
Okay.
Let's go and then let's do one more.
Yep. I'm amazed at how long some of these have been sitting there with no updates.
Yeah, it happens because people submit them and then just never take them back down.
Yeah. And I would certainly think you need to take them down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm not seeing anything else that's jumping out at me.
Okay, so let's take a look at those other two.
Oh, sugar. This,
Or the other one.
yeah. Here we
Okay.
go.
So what's the first thing we're going to check?
We're going to check recipes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is
All
showing
right,
me
so
the
that's
recipes.
telling me the different recipes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look at one of these recipes. This is something I don't like. This is something I don't like when I'm looking for recipes is a whole bunch of wording.
Right. It's not really a recipe. It's more of just a
No,
blog post.
it's not useful to me.
Yep.
You know, granted they have the recipe eventually, but I gotta if they don't have on there jump to recipe.
Right. There's also not a nice little search feature that says, show me the types of ingredients. I want to use ingredients like this or like that, or there's no way to search recipes or anything like that. The other one had that.
Yeah. Yeah. So this one I'm not.
Okay, so close it out, or let's go to the. Or that might be that's all. That's the only one you had. So
That's
let's
the
go
only
back.
one I had. So let's
Let's
go
go
back.
back to
Here's
that
the
other
one.
one.
This is the first one.
Yep.
That
and now let's
seems
go
to be more.
So let's go look at the other sections of it, right? So you saw the home, the blog, you liked all of that stuff. It looks like.
Yeah. Shop. Oh, that's interesting.
So it has the option for e-commerce store.
Okay.
And you can click on one of those. I'm sure it'll show you kind of a product detail page and what that looks like.
Okay. All right. I do like that. Well, let's see what the features are. Okay, the features was the about page.
Yep.
So
now
features
let's go
is
back to Theme Forest and take a look at this theme, which was
the cake art.
Levan. It was the cake
I'm
art was
sorry.
their fake name for a thing. It's
Right.
If you look in the tab, you'll see the name of the theme.
Oh,
Levan
Levain.
or
Okay, and I
something,
think that was on the first page. I don't think I'm on the second page here. Yes, that was on the first page. And there it is.
Right there. Okay, so now let's go.
Okay, so now this one's been updated as of August and 20.
Yeah, it's not great.
And 5 stars. So that's
it's good. It's good that it's 5-star. It's not great that hasn't been updated since August.
okay.
It's not a perfect sign, but let's click into it. And we'll learn more about the theme.
Learn more about
this theme. Let's click into it. Not the preview. Previews, you already did that.
All right.
We want to now go see this all about it.
6-month support, future updates, quality checked. I don't know what Evanto is.
That's the where you are. That's where you are.
Oh, that's the name of the, okay.
Marketplace. Okay.
All right. They had 694 sales. Here's the comments.
Let's go look at some comments. Now, what's important when you're here, some of these people are very technical. So there's going to be some technical questions you don't need to know. You don't need to understand. What you're looking at is, are they responsive to comments? Because if they are, they're still supporting the theme, right? They're still actively involved with it.
Oh, there you go. 12 days ago.
Right. So you see there's like people responding here, which is great. You also see this was created in December of 2015. Right?
Okay.
So it's been around for 6 years, and they're really focused on it, which is also good. And then if we scroll down,
it doesn't tell you how often it's been updated.
There might be something in here. Sometimes they will do that. Sometimes they won't. Let's go look. Keep scrolling down. Nope. Okay, so let's go back up. And let's look at it's what they call like a change log, but let's go look at comments and read some of the comments about it, because you want to see what other people are saying.
Okay.
And I tell you what, let's try to get into reviews instead, is really what you want to see.
And where would I find the reviews?
It's right. You're in the comments tab right now. You want to go to the reviews tab.
So go back.
Nope. Stop. Hang on. Okay. It's right in front of you.
It is.
It's next to the word comments, which is what you're currently looking at on the comments tab, which is under discussion on Levain, the headline. You'll see that there's tabs. Nope. Stop. You don't need to scroll.
I'm not seeing it. Oh, I'm seeing it. Now I see it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So there's a banner, but it's not responsive. So that was a while ago. That's from years ago. So don't sort by newest. Let's do that, because there's not a lot of reviews from like recent.
That's the newest.
Yeah, that seems odd.
2 years ago.
Yeah, this would be enough for me to keep your journey going, because that means no one's really leaving reviews on this. All these reviews are like 5-star reviews, and there's not really, there's nothing that really shows it's real. This
So
says
you're
to
thinking
me
that some of it is fake reviews.
It's not, maybe. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I don't want to accuse them of that. I'm just saying that it could be just like, I mean, if you look at them, they're not great. It's like, oh, 5 stars for code quality, 4 stars for bugs, not a responsive banner. And it's like, but it's 2 years ago is the big thing. It means nobody in the last 2 years has used this theme and left a review. So I don't know how great this theme is. There's probably other themes that are out there that are recipe oriented that might be better.
All right.
So I would continue the search.
Okay.
And that's what I would suggest that you do for the next week or so, is look at different recipe themes. Now that you know a little bit more about the way of going about this, right? Look at what you want your site to be and to do. And you can stop sharing for now and we'll close it out. But that's what I would do. I would look at recipe themes and things that you want to be able to do, right? Because when you first started, if you think about where you first started with this, you were like, okay, I kind of got the theme thing. Let's go look at all the restaurant themes. But that doesn't make sense, because you're not trying to open a restaurant. So why would you buy a theme that's designed for that purpose, when in reality you want to give recipes? So that's where you want to be, is recipe themes. Now, yes, recipes related to tea and stuff like that. And the tea stuff was a lot of tea shops for selling teas. But if you're not going to be selling teas, then why do that? Right. So you kind of look for the functionality of your thing. So if you're going to be doing recipes, I would focus on recipe websites, recipes, reviews, Google that. WordPress recipes reviews, recipe themes, and see what else is out there.
All right.
And then take a look at some things that you like and don't like, and think about it from the user's perspective, not just yours, but you've done a lot of recipe sites as well, like using them, right?
Right.
So what would be good for the user? What would make where it's just a glorified blog post that happens to have some ingredients on it? Or is it something that's really made for recipes, clearly, because you can see the format of it is consistent between things. So that's the sort of stuff you look for. Does it make sense?
Yep.
All right.
I did find one website when I was doing my journeys and looking. This was a couple weeks ago when we had talked about it, that I super liked, but I haven't seen anything like that particular site.
Okay, well, I'd keep searching.
So just keep looking.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because remember, there are tens of thousands of themes that are out there.
Okay.
So it's a big world. You may not find it in the first 10 that you look at.
Okay.
Which is why it takes some time, right? So, but now you've got a better understanding of themes and how to go through and find them, because you want to click first, look for the functionality of the main thing that you want to do. And if the main thing you want to do is present recipes, it's the first. Who cares what the homepage looks like? Go check recipes. If recipes aren't great, it doesn't matter about the rest, because that's the most important thing to you, right? And then, if it was the blog, then you would go to the blog thing first, right? And it's kind of do that in order. What's the first thing that's most important? The second thing that's most important to you? The third thing that's most important to you?
Okay.
Because then it's like, well, if the recipes are amazing, the blog's okay, and the homepage is but the homepage is really not important to you. Who cares? Recipes will win. It might be a good theme.
Yeah.
Right. And then
you
look at stuff like, okay, was it updated recently, and good reviews and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. The only thing I look at as far as the homepage goes is it eye catching?
Right.
That's the first thing I think.
Yep.
So, okay.
Yep. But
all right, good.
Deal with your functionality first, because even if it's
that helps a lot.
But it has horrible recipes, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You can change the look of a homepage easier than you can change the formatting of a recipe page, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So that's why it would prioritize that.
Sounds great. That really helps a lot.
Good.
So, because I was quite a bit lost.
Well, now you got your mission. We just reset and rebooted your mission. You're still on the mission for a theme, but you've got more specifics as to when it is, and you understand that there was no internet in the early 1900s. So that was also a good one. All right. It's good. It's good to learn.
See how much I'm learning?
And you know what a control key is now?
I have to share this with you.
Yes.
Yesterday, I was sharing with a friend of mine what we're doing. And she said, well, she said, they forget, your generation, young generation, forgets that we started out with not even having TV in our homes. And then we went to black and white TV. We didn't even have phones in our homes. We have seen so much change.
You all had
in our lives.
Newfangled radios. You grew up with radio.
Yeah, and then we went to 8-tracks, and then we went to discs, and it was like, holy cow, this changes so fast for us. So for us to keep up was really hard.
Yep. And now look at you. You kind of have your own TV channel in a way.
Sort of. But I'm trying to learn all this. I want to keep learning it. It is so exciting.
You're doing great. And you're taking one for your generation, because you get to go out there and be like, all right, I don't know what you're talking about, because I don't know what you were clicking on before with the control thing. But the important thing is you now know what a control key is. So that's great.
We'll never forget that. That's what's great.
All right. So with that, we'll bring this one officially to a close. And then we'll, on the next episode, next time we chat, we'll be going over your themes, hopefully at that point, and have it narrowed down. But remember, it's going to take some time. So go through them and look at a bunch of different ones, and you'll see some pretty good options. I think that'll be out there for you.
Okay.
Sound good?
I will do it. I will do it. I'm looking forward to it.
We'll see you next time we chat then.
I love you. Thank you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.